4 months have passed since Formula One fans from around the world watched F1 cars race down Las Vegas Boulevard. Now, a new report details the multiple impacts the event had on Clark County, the positives and the negatives. And here to share some of those findings is Mick Akers, a sports business and transportation reporter for the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Mick, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so this report, what were some of the findings that stood out to you?
Yeah, obviously, they kind of highlighted some of the, financial impacts, $1.5 billion in economic impact, 300 some odd thousand people attending the race each, throughout the week, $77 million in tax revenue generated, which they said was the largest from any event ever. I'm sure Super Bowl might surpass that, but, as it stands now, that's the largest. So worldwide attention, millions of hits online and on social media. So given Las Vegas, not that it needs it, but a worldwide platform to kind of show off, hey, we're open. Las Vegas, they've been talking about bringing international visitors back since the COVID era. So I think they were kind of relying on this. So obviously drawing a pretty big international crowd as well. So they're hoping that on top of showing it on TV and social that, hey, we'll bring some more people from overseas over. So, those were kind of the highlights on the positive side.
Yeah.
Negative side, obviously, a lot of it focused on the transportation angle. There was 9 months of work altogether from when they started repaving, when they did the setup and then tear down. Obviously, the Flamingo Bridge got a lot of the focus as well. Some of the business owners around that weren't too happy, saying, hey, we lost a lot of money, we had to cut hours, and we're lucky we made it out of that. So, a lot of focus was paid on, hey, this infrastructure work has to be, kind of condensed and not be so long, and I think F1's kind of responded to that as well.
Will you explain more about that Flamingo and Koval temporary bridge? How did it impact businesses and people in that area?
Yeah, so they built it over, it was 760 feet long, obviously a massive temporary structure. Had one lane in each direction, going east and westbound on Flamingo over Koval. And they also had one surface road on each side, one lane on that. And so they had these convenience stores, Jay's Market, and then we had Stage Door and Batista's Hole in the Wall restaurant, obviously a big restaurant here in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. Everyone's known that for a long time. So that kind of cut off access to them. They said, hey, we're right at the end of the bridge for the restaurant and the casino. And we also had Jay's Market was pretty much in the middle of that intersection, right? So if you didn't take that side street, you weren't getting off there. So the owner said, hey, I had to valet my car next door at the West End because I couldn't even park at my own business.
Wow. So
they were saying, hey, we lost a lot of money. We had to cut staff. We had to cut hours. So they're hoping that bridge is not coming back, but Clark County and F1 both already have said, hey, this bridge is coming back this year.
And Clark County Commissioner Tick Segerblum at the meeting where this was presented suggested maybe some of those people who were impacted by negatively could get some form of compensation. Do you foresee that actually happening?
I'm going to say not if they set something up, maybe, but I'm assuming it's going to have to take some kind of legal action. I know that that's being kind of thought over right now by some of the businesses. So I know they're going to try to get some of that money back because some of them are talking about millions of dollars. Obviously, some of them are smaller businesses and they can't really take that hit. So there's going to be some kind of way they figured out, but that was just Tick kind of saying, hey, maybe we should set something up. But I think as far as this past race, I don't know if anything outside of legal action is going to take care of that. But I think maybe going forward, they might want to look at that, especially if that bridge is going to be a mainstay. Because there is talk about maybe looking at that as making a permanent bridge over there. So they did a traffic study. They left that bridge up, several weeks after the race was done to kind of, get not just the race day and the race week traffic, but also, regular day traffic on that as well. So at some point that's going to come out and they're going to have those findings, and that's going to lead to maybe saying, hey, we do want to put this bridge there permanently, or no, we don't want to have that there.
Speaking of Tick Segerblum, he made some headlines when he said that the county, which was maybe going to pay for part of the improvements, the road improvements, the infrastructure, when he said maybe Clark County doesn't have to pay after all. I think it was $88 million that F1 invested in infrastructure and improvements. Where does it stand on whether Clark County will pay a portion of it?
Yeah, so all the work they carried out over those 9 months was a lot of repaving, obviously, to make it grade and ready for the race. They did some other infrastructure things, adding some communications, some other things for the broadcast and some stuff for the racers itself. So it took a long time. $88 million, they said. So F1 started that, and they started paying it by themselves, obviously. And then they eventually came to the county and said, hey, we want you to pay around half of that, which is $40 million. So that was on an ongoing thing, and they kept saying, hey, we're still deciding. Last time I talked to him, he said, hey, we haven't made an official decision, but he believes it's off the table now. So I think F1 might be kind of putting the brakes on, asking them on that. So they might be in the clear on that, but it's everyone I talked to with the county, day one since I asked, they were pretty much saying, hey, we're not going to give them anything.
Wow. Okay, so F1 may have to pay all of that. What does F1 say in response to this report?
They were receptive. They came out before this meeting and said, hey, we're going to condense the work, obviously leading up and after. We don't have to do the repaving. They said a major repave won't have to occur between 6 to 8 years. So, out of the woods on that end. So they'll just have to mainly, start building the temporary grandstands, then closer to the race, setting up the track and the barriers and the wall and all that kind of thing. So they said, we'll take that from 9 months from last year and condense it down to 3 months. People still looked at that and said, well, that's still a pretty long time, especially when you're dealing with the resort corridor, the big money maker. And, we got a lot of complaints last year from people saying, hey, we came to Vegas and this whole setup kind of ruined our experience, blocking some of the marquees and blocking, the volcano and all that kind of thing. So, people wanted to get that real Vegas experience, and they said, hey, we couldn't get it because all the F1 work. So, you take it as it is. They have to do some kind of setup. Obviously, they just can't, open it out of thin air and say, here, race is ready to go. So, they are trying to make some changes. They're taking it in, they're listening. They want to do some more community involvement. Also, the locals are saying, hey, we want some more affordable tickets. So on starting this week, they'll be able to buy some of those. They added 7,000 more general admission, which are the lower tier on the scale as far as price. So those start at $500 for the 3 days. Obviously, people still looking at it and say it's pretty expensive. If you look at a Raiders game, if you look in the secondary market, they're about $500 for a game. So this is 3 days. You kind of spread it out through there. So, they say, hey, it's kind of paying for the experience, but we can't really get lower than that.
Yeah, kind of a common theme, locals getting outpriced from these professional sports in Las Vegas. Mick Akers of the Las Vegas Review-Journal, thank you for joining Nevada Week.
Thank you.